Hi everyone, this is Kellyanne with Church Windows. We're going to go ahead and get started. I know the clock on my computer says 2:57, but that is off. Everything else, my cell phone, the uh, phone on the desk here in the front office, all of those say 3. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I have to apologize in advance. It's been a while since I have done a webinar because I've been busy editing and writing the books for version 20, which are out. I might have some changes to them as version 20 comes out, and we, make changes to that based on what our users like. But today we are going to go ahead and take a look at transfers, how you do transfers in the membership module in version 20. Now, typically, I normally like to come in and test my audio and make sure everyone can hear me okay. So really quick, on your GoToMeeting toolbar, if you expand the attendees portion, there's a little raise hand button. If you can hear me okay, if you would go ahead and click on that raise hand button, and that will just let me know that people can indeed hear me. Okay. Oh, there's some more hands. I just need to scroll up the section I was looking at. I only saw one raised hand. Okay, great. All right. If it's your first time using the GoToWebinar software, there is a presentation that's showing you how to use that. But if you just joined us or you missed that, if you want to move it out of your way, just click the little arrow to the side of it. It's an orangish red arrow. That will minimize down the toolbar. To open it back up, just click that arrow again. But if it's blocking what I'm showing you, you might want to collapse it down. Sometimes we'll have another tech in the room to help answer questions, but today's topic, it only covers a few pages in the Membership 101 book, and Rachel actually was going to help, but she has to load somebody on the cloud right at 3. She has an appointment, so it's just me, but I think I can handle the questions on transfers, hopefully. Again, it's a real short topic, so if you have questions, I'll answer those, but I'm just going to hold off until the end to answer those because, I mean, seriously, what I have here, the book pages, it's like 1 2/3 pages for transfers. It's there's not quite as much as you could do in the old with transfers because you don't need to. All right, now let's go ahead. What I was going to say, I forgot to mention, if you have a question, I'm not going to unmute people. Just open up the question panel on that GoToWebinar toolbar, and you can type your question in there. I'll go ahead and read it out loud for everybody and answer it out loud. All right, let me go ahead and open up membership. Let me show you. Here's the opening screen for version 20. Doesn't look too much different. I don't think the icons changed at all. Upper right, we see it is version 20.17.0. Again, this is not out yet, but everything we're showing now is for version 20 because that is due out hopefully by the end of the year. Don't have a date on that, but we were told late fall, early fall, or late fall. I don't know if they found some things that slowed it down, but let's go ahead and take a look at what's coming in version 20. We're going to go ahead and go to membership, and I already have that open, so it would save time from loading. And to do transfers, sometimes you find you might want to transfer individuals or entire families. You can transfer individuals or entire families into a brand new household. Probably more likely you do individuals. There's really no reason to transfer an entire family to a brand new household. Or you can transfer people from one household to another existing household in Church Windows, like when somebody marries. All right, so let's go ahead first, and we're going to look. If you already purchased books for version 20, the material I'm looking at is in Membership 101, pages 32, bottom of 32, and then 33 and 34. Top of page 33, it talks about transferring only certain individuals. And I'll go ahead and show you at the end of the class where you can find these books on our website as well, if you wanted to purchase those. Top of 33, though, talks about transferring certain individuals. So we have a young man, Stuart Bernard. We're going to open up the People module, and we're going to find Stuart Bernard. Now, If this is your first time taking a look at version 20, it does look different, and we have already had some webinars that show version 20 a sneak peek. Everything we're showing in the webinar 20-minute classes is version 20, so we may have already had one that covers this screen. What we're looking at today, we're not going to cover this entire screen. We're looking at how to transfer, and the transfer, oops. Oh, they moved. I'm like, where is my little drawing tool? I wanted to get my spotlight here and show you with the spotlight. Right up at the top, we're going to use the person lookup to find the person we need, the individual person. And then we're going to use this transfer individual button that we see up at the top of the individual record. So first we're going to find the person. So in the person lookup, I'm just going to start typing Stewart. I could type any part of his first or last name, and it's narrowing down to what I'm typing. So I see his name, so I'll click on Stewart. If we look over on the left in the family record, we see he's 18, so obviously he's moved out to his own apartment or something, or gone off to college, and he wants his own record now. So along the top, we're just going to click on Transfer Individual. And if you're familiar with the old transfer prior to these changes in version 20, this is really very similar. It's just you don't have a member or visitor database now. You have what's called categories. So at the top here, first thing we need to do is indicate what out of our different categories, we could make others as well, but right now we just have members, visitors, which category we want to put him in. So we're going to keep him in the member category. And now over on the right side, can put in as little or as much as I need, or no, right now I need to at least put a mailing label though. So I could put Mr. Stewart Bernard, and we'll go ahead and put an address by just clicking this little plus sign. And then we can type in his address. Oops. And it's filling in the default that we've set in our settings for our zip code, city, and state. I'm going to keep those, so I'll just say OK. Now we filled his address in. If you have the rest of the information here, you can fill that in. We don't have it right now, so we're just going to click OK. And it does prompt us now to, after we do the transfer, take a look at the mailing label. We might want to change that. That would be more in the case of moving someone into another household, because we've already put exactly the mailing label we want, but you'll get the same message you'll see when we move somebody into another house, and then we will want to change the mailing label. The directory report order, because Stewart probably was listed as a child, and now that he's in his own house, if he wants to be in the directory, we need to make him primary. If there's multiple people in the household, we might want to rearrange where they are in order. Let's just click OK, and here you can copy that message to clipboard and then paste it in Word or a document if you want to print it out. We're just going to click OK, and now we see over on the left, Stewart is gone from the Bernard family listing. And up in this person lookup, if we start looking up Stewart Bernard and click on his name, here we see Stewart has his own household now, in his own house. If we look at his record, right now the record is going across the screen. I'm used to the way the records were prior to this big change, up and down. So over here to the right, I'm going to change it by clicking the little direction buttons. And I'm making it now go up and down, and that's the way I prefer it. So here I see family relation. He's not a child anymore, so we can change him to adult or whatever family relation best fits. He's not a child for the directory. We want to make him primary if he wants to be in the directory. And then we could just take a look at anything else on his record. School grade, we must not advance groups or grades. He's graduated from high school. But again, once we transfer him, we definitely want to take a look at the record and make sure there's nothing we want to change. But there we easily moved one person out of a household into their own household. Let's go ahead. We're going to move a gentleman, Ian. He married one of our members of the church. She already exists in the database, and he does as well. But we want to merge them into one record since they are now married. So let's up at the top, we're going to type in Ian up, and I see his name is Ian Berry. So I see him after typing in Ian. I'll click on his name. It does tell me that on his record we did not fill in directory report order. That is a required field. It's asking if I want to add it before I save. So I'll go ahead and hit yes. They gave me a new build right in between practicing this morning and doing this class, so they didn't do that to me before, so that's new. All right, so we have Ian. Let's click save here to save his record and the directory report order we added. We want to transfer him to Carolyn's house, so we'll click on transfer individual. We see that Ian is right up at the top here, and we're going to move him in with an existing family. So here I'm going to start typing. Carolyn DeSmit is who I'd like, so I'll choose her name. And here we could go ahead and change this right now. I'm going to go ahead and just click OK, and then we're going to change. We'll take a look at everything on the records once we move him in. So we'll say OK. Reminds me that after the transfer I want to check these different things. So I'll say OK. Now I forgot. You know what? I think they added one little thing that I did not notice before. Notice we're already in their record, but I just wanted to bring up the transfer really quickly. The reason, I don't know if you noticed, when we were moving Ian, we didn't have a choice to move him to a new family because he was the only person in that family. So it would be kind of redundant to move him to a different family when he was the only person there. One thing down in the lower left, I don't think we see, it's grayed out right now, but it defaulted to be checked, and it's a delete family after transfer. If the person is the only person in the household and you move that person into an existing household like we just did with Ian, then we'd want to say delete after transfer because we don't want this empty house that's sitting out there for Ian Berry with no actual individuals in it. So let me cancel that. I just wanted you to see that little checkbox because I think that was just added. Or I missed it this morning when I was practicing. That's entirely possible too. Now if we look, we see the Ms. Carolyn DeSmith's household popped right up for us. Here we can, if typically we have the male listed first in the household in the order that we see them on the left. So if we want to change that, we can right click on, we'll click on Ian and then just right click and choose move up. And that just pops him up, so he's right up at the top and Carolyn's right after him. The last name now, we might want to change some of the information. They are now, we're going to change their mailing label, so we'll put Mr. and Mrs. Ian Berry. And I'll save that. And then we're going to change Carolyn, change her last name to her new married name of Berry. Both of them are listed as primary because they were individuals. They're listed as primary for the directory. So notice now I did that on purpose. I clicked off of Caroline to click on Ian before hitting save, and it's asking me. It says there's already other individuals with a directory report order of 1. Reports will not work correctly if there is more than one primary designated in a family. Change value before saving. And yes, I do want to do that. I was going to go check and see what Ian's directory report order is, but the program's already saying, hey, you've got both of these individuals listed as primary, and that will not work for the directory. So I'm going to say yes, and we're going to change Caroline to secondary for the directory. And that way, when we print a directory, the Berry family will show in the B's with Ian listed first and then Caroline, since she's listed as secondary. Now we can take a look. We don't have a lot filled in for either of these people, so here, we could go ahead and fill in whatever else we need. We could put in their marriage date if you track that, marital status, but really you just want to take a look at both of their records now that we've merged them into one household and see what we need to change. If you have individual photos for each of the actual individuals, which we don't, but if you did, you might want to clear those or ask them, do you have a family photo that you would like me to add to your record rather than individual pics. So really just take a look at both records and see, what you might or might not need to change. I'm going to get a sip of coffee, and I am, excuse me, at the end of what I wanted to show you. Let me get a sip of coffee. If you have questions, go ahead and type those in, and I'll also show you where on the website you can find the workbook if anyone wanted to know that. Okay, the workbook, minimize here and open Chrome. We'll type in church windows. If we go to beginning, or I know on my computer at my desk, I don't have the words across the top. I have like 3 little lines, and if I click those, then I get these 3 different options: investigating, beginning, and supporting. But it's going to be under beginning, and then training workbooks. Or if for some reason, if you're on a mobile phone and you can't find training workbooks, you can click the little magnifying glass in the upper right and just type in workbooks. And that will take you to a link, training workbooks, downloadable and pre-printed, which takes you right to the page where we were. And again, this came from Membership 101, and it's the very last 3 pages of the book, Transfers. All right, I see some questions coming in, so let's see. Somebody said, can you merge duplicates using this method? Well, you can merge them all into one household, but they still are going to be duplicate records. So you would have to decide, which one you didn't need and take the information off of that and add it to the individual record that you do want to keep. Someone asked, can we rearrange the order of the items on the left-hand screen? Not that I'm aware of, no. It's a little off topic. Again, I did write the books here, but I'm pretty sure we can go to, where is that button? I know there's a, oh, I know. I need to go back to my regular screens here. There we go. Customize fields. No. Customize fields is just the fields on the right side of the screen. So we can rearrange the fields on the right side. But the family record, you cannot rearrange those fields, no. Oh, on the right side, you meant the right side. Yes, you can. You would rearrange those by clicking Customize Fields, and then you can move things up or down with the arrows on the side. Somebody said the book is ready to download. Do we get a free copy with the new software version, or do we have to buy it separate? No, you do have to buy the books. They've always, the workbooks, I know we used to have a very basic, simple manual on the CDs. I don't know that we do that anymore. And the workbooks have always been a for sale thing. So yes, those are available for sale on our website. But I think right now, because a lot of people are in between 19 and 20, I think at least at this time, I think probably until we're solidly into 20, I'm pretty sure Craig, the webmaster, had mentioned, let's take a look, that that if you ordered workbooks right now, you get both version 19 and 20. Let's look. I'm pretty sure he said something about that. I think it says something, might say something on the, yeah. As we're nearing the release of Church Windows version 20, which contains major enhancements, the purchase of any membership book or package will include both 19 and 20 at no additional cost. So right now, if you were to purchase a book, you get both the 19 version and the 20 version for the cost of just one, because we are in between those. Somebody said, can you merge records from the donation module? No. If you have a donation person, they are a donation-only record. You can write down their information and, create a membership record, but you can't merge donation records into becoming a membership record. Will money donations move with the person? Yes, the money always stays with the person and moves with them when you transfer them. Okay. Are there more questions? Because we do have more time. I didn't think that was going to take very long. It was only a less than 2-page topic, but a very important one. I'm surprised. Maybe we just have all new folks here, but I'm sure I see some names of people that I know are using the program now, and I'm surprised no one asked how we move from members to visitors. There is no need. You don't have to transfer from members to visitors because it's all just a people database. And if you want to change the category of a family, you can do that right. There we go. Maybe I just need to refresh. It was grayed out up here. I can change a family's category right up at the top of their family record. So with just a click here on the category just above their family record, I change the Berries from being members to visitors. And if I save that, oh, that's what's wrong. It wasn't saved before. I can change them back to being members again. And you can create different categories beyond members and visitors, whatever, your church needs for categories. All right. Are there more questions? Transferring, I think it's pretty easy. I think even less complicated than before because you don't have a member or visitor database. That's all handled by category now, not even a transfer. Any other questions? If you're in the middle of typing a question, go ahead and hit enter and then finish typing the rest. That way I won't close the webinar or shut it down before you finish typing your question. Somebody said if part of the family are members and the rest are not, how do you indicate? Let me see. I don't know that you could have a status code that indicated that, but if you want them all in the same household, then they would have to the household has to have the same category on it. You could some churches, it's just like now, you could create a visitor status code and have them the category be members, but the status code could indicate whether they're a member or a visitor. Someone said, will all the information in our current database be transferred correctly when the new version is loaded? Yes. This is an upgrade. It just upgrades your church windows. Your data is still there and the program's just upgraded or updated. How do you indicate which ones are members and which ones are not? That would probably be done with a status code, or you could create a specific field if you like. Or you still have, categories where a family can be in the member category versus a family being over in the visitor category. But so far as I know, now again, the program is new and as text, we're still using it here and learning it. I've done the edits to the book, and so far as I learned, there is not a way in a household to have a mix of member category and visitor category all in one household. That would be handled more with, rather than categories, a status code. And here we could do Ian as a visitor, and we could mark Carolyn as an active member. I'm just curious, up here he still shows as a visitor. Okay, it just hadn't refreshed yet. I was wondering why that still showed that, because it hadn't refreshed for me changing it. All right, are there more questions? All right, well, I'm not seeing any other questions or any half-typed questions coming in, so I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar for today. Thank you for attending, and do take a look on our website for more topics and webinars that are upcoming, and sign up for whatever you like. I'm sure I'll talk to you on the phone. Have a great day, folks. Thank you. Bye.